The US is a big country, a pretty big one, full of beautiful places and public land. It is perfect for road trips. I love road trips, they are my favorite way to travel and to make images. I just came back from one. I had a little bit of everything: snow, rain, sun, even tornado warnings. I had troubles with the car. 1, 2, and 3. I dropped a camera in the ocean. I saw plenty of wildlife: elk, moose, bald eagles, seals. I got eaten by mosquitoes, I froze in the mountains of Montana, and I got bathed by the ocean breeze at the Oregon coast. As usual, so many memories and stories, the best part of a road trip. And this was just one of the many road trips that I got to do over the years. While the miles fade away with time, the memories of those places stick with you, as do the images that you make. These are some of the thoughts, tips, and lessons I've learned over time about photography road trips. Got a full car packed with a lot of stuff. Every trip is different in its own way. A trip during winter will be very different from a trip during summer. Winter is cold, days are short, nights are long, driving is not possible at times, batteries die quickly. Summer is hot, days are long, nights are short, there are mosquitoes, you need sunscreen, thunderstorms are a threat. We need to be prepared for the season. Don't bring a lot of stuff, but make sure to have everything you are going to need with you. Otherwise, you might have to get out of your way and waste precious time. As you can see, I have a bunch of stuff in the car. I've been living off the car for the last 2 weeks or so since I hit the road again. Try to keep the car as organized as possible. Everything should have a home. Over time, you'll memorize where everything goes, and it will make your life much easier. Have the car inspected, change the oil, and make sure that everything looks good before hitting the road. A car failure is always bad, but it's even worse if it happens in the middle of nowhere and you have to cancel your plans. Even then, anything could happen at any moment. My car was good to go and it broke down on day 2 of the road trip. So it's only day 2, I already got 3 lights on. I really hope that they can fix it, otherwise I don't even know if this trip is going to happen at all. So, fingers crossed. Oh no, oh no. Okay. Accidents happen, and they definitely happen to me, so it's always useful to have a backup camera if you can. Also, spare batteries and memory cards and stuff to clean your lenses. Try to keep everything organized in pouches. It looks like a mess. It is a mess now. If you're going to leave off the car, the gear that you don't bring with you when you are out taking pictures will have to stay behind in the vehicle. Probably not a good idea to leave valuables in the car, so try to bring only as much gear as you can fit in your backpack. It must fit in my camera bag. When it comes to power, bring more batteries than you think you'll need, especially if you are camping. A few external batteries to charge them are also recommended. Maybe even bring a solar panel. They can be very useful if you get sunny conditions. In any case, charge everything up as soon as you have access to an outlet. Camping is not as bucolic as some might want you to believe. It can be very uncomfortable, noisy, it gets cold and hot, you have to deal with bags, and daily chores like doing laundry can take much longer than they would otherwise. Rain can also ruin your whole trip. I actually had to get a cabin a couple of nights during this last road trip to avoid the snow and rain. Otherwise, I would have been sitting either in the tent or the car for hours. I love camping though. I spent almost a month sleeping in a tent during this last road trip. Camping is usually affordable, even in highly desirable locations, and sleeping outdoors makes me feel more connected to the landscape, and I find it much easier to get out and start taking photos when I sleep in a tent compared to getting out of a nice bed in a hotel. You can also camp in public land, usually for free. I don't do it very often though, because being able to book a place is almost a must for me. I'm usually out taking photos until very late, well past sunset, and knowing that I will have a place to go to right away to get some rest for the next day is important. I don't want to look for a camping spot in the dark. Hotels and Airbnbs are a better option, but of course they are much more expensive. You get better rest because you have a better bed and less noise. You don't have to worry about powering your devices, and if you stay for a few nights, you can actually leave valuables behind knowing that they'll be safe while you are out during the day. This might sound silly, I have food for days here. This might look very silly, but this is very important to what I'm trying to achieve during this trip. Another plus of lodging is having a fridge. If you are camping or living off the car, your options are very limited unless you have an expensive rig. I usually go to the grocery store once every few days and get as much food as I can fit in the fridge. This last time though, because I didn't have a fridge, I visited the store as often as I could to buy fresh veggies and fruit. I still had to rely on plenty of packaged food in places where that was not possible, but it was just a month, so it was okay. This approach might not be sustainable for longer periods of time though. In any case, minimizing your trips to the store will leave you more time for photography or for resting. It's snowing. Isn't this pretty? Be prepared for anything and stay flexible. This last road trip was especially hard to prepare for because it was during spring. So for example, we got 12 inches of snow on my first day in Montana, and I slept in 100-degree weather in Idaho on my way back to the Midwest. So I had to bring winter coats along with shorts, and that takes a lot of room in the car. I also had to change my plans a few times. I was trying to avoid the heat. It might have looked like rain was chasing me, but actually I was chasing the rain and I loved it. Always let someone know about your plans and stay in touch. I use my phone, of course, but I also have a GPS communicator just in case there is no service where I go. I barely use it and it's not cheap, but it could save my life one day. Don't push it. Avoid rough roads unless your car is ready for them, and avoid rough trails if you are not ready for them. Getting stuck in the middle of nowhere or getting hurt can be really expensive and dangerous. Bring bear spray if you're hiking in bear country, have a first aid kit in the car, and bring water, plenty of water always. Road trips are not for everyone, especially if done alone. Many people might not be able to afford the economic cost of a road trip, and even less the time that they require. You don't need to go anywhere to make good images though. I'm a huge advocate for local photography. But if you can afford going on a road trip and you have the time, I strongly recommend it. You might come to like them as much as I do. I love the freedom that they give you, which I find priceless when it comes to making images. And no, you definitely don't have to get fancy or spend a lot of money on an expensive rig. A couple of sleeping bags and a big pillow in the back of almost any car will do. And if the weather is nice enough, just pitch a tent outside. I hope this video was useful. If you have any other questions about how I travel, how I manage my gear, how I manage my clothing, the food, where I stay, whatever it is, just leave a comment down below or send me an email. As usual, thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.